Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. My name is Feng Sherning, and with me today are Zara binti Ramadan, Li Jingjing, and Alison Goh Aijin. We will be your masters of ceremony for today. Welcome to College Tunku Jafar for our graduation ceremony of the class of 2023. You will have likely noticed the camera crew around the auditorium. KTJ is again live streaming for those who cannot make it here in person. We give a very special welcome to our graduates in absentia and to those families and friends watching online. If you would like to download the digital program, please scan the QR code that will be displayed on the screen. Before the ceremony begins, please allow me to brief you on this morning's program. When the arrival of Yang Amat Mulia Tunku Dato Seri Nazarudin Ibni Almarhum Tunku Jafar arrives and the distinguished guest is announced, we ask you to stand respectfully and welcome the entourage. The students of graduating class 2023 will then enter the auditorium. We will then begin the formal ceremony with the singing of the national anthem and the school song. Following this, the principal, Dr. Glenn Moody, will give the opening address and will present the first group of students with their certificates. This will be followed by speeches by Yang Amat Mulia Tunku Dato Seri Nazarudin, our esteemed guest speaker, Ms. Suri Kemp, followed by the two hit prefects of KTJ, Aidan Atlan Disney and Kyra Sarada Chalam. Finally, the head of sixth form, Mrs. Emma Davidson, will deliver the closing address. In between the speeches, graduation scrolls will be awarded. We shall then invite our esteemed guests to depart from the auditorium. At that time, we seek your kind service to stand as they make their way out of the auditorium. The graduating class of 2023 will then proceed outside for a group photograph. Parents are also invited to take pictures of the group, although we request that you remain on the bank of the main field. Following the photographs, parents, KTJ students, and teachers may proceed to the marquees outside of the dining hall for refreshments and lunch. We request that you do not use the inside of the dining hall, as that is reserved for current students. Graduates and their families will also have a further opportunity to take photographs outside in the photo booths. Lastly, please ensure that your mobile devices are switched off or put on silent throughout the ceremony to minimize disruption. Thank you. Please be upstanding for the arrival of Yang Amat Mulia Tunku Dato Seri Nazarudin Ibni Almarhum Tunku Jafar, our guest speaker, Ms. Suri Kemp, and the principal of College Tunku Jafar, Dr. Glenn Moody. You may be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment is finally upon us after 2 years of hard studying, the arrival of the graduating class of 2023. Please be upstanding for the national anthem and the school song. Muhammad bin Wan Shukur will now recite the dua.
الفاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. We gather here today to express gratitude upon your greatest gift toward us. In conjunction to this event, we ask your help and guidance. Ya Allah, kindly give us strength and courage to face the struggle to find and gain the knowledge. Kindly bestow blessings in physical and spiritual health, fitness of mind, peace of mind, strength of spirit. Ya Allah, grant us strength to our teachers to continue to guide us to become students that we are committed to our goal, to become successful individual. ربنا عليك توكلنا وإليك انبنا وإليك المصير. ربنا أتينا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله أصحابه وسلم. والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين.
Thank you to Muhammad bin Wan Shukur for the recitation of the dua. Thank you to Brian Go Soo-jun, one of our lower 6 students, for the beautiful accompaniment to the national anthem and the school song, and for playing Chopin's Waltz, Opus 64, number 2, Impromptu, Opus 66, Nocturne, Opus 55, number 1, La La Land theme, and Con La Brisa theme.
A very warm welcome to the Young Amat Mulia Tunku Datuk Sri Nazaruddin Ibni Almarhum Tunku Jaffa, member of the Board of Trustees, Finance and Planning Committee, our esteemed guest, Ms. Suri Kemp, Puan Nurashikin Muhammad Sharif and her team from Bank Negara, Malaysia, Ms. Vinotini Jana Danan and her team from Yayasan Saim Darby, KTJ Principal Dr. Glenn Moody, Head of 6th Form, Mrs. Emma Davidson, parents, teachers, and especially graduating students 2023. We would like to invite our principal, Dr. Glenn Moody, on stage to deliver the welcome speech.
Yang Amat Mulia Tunku Dato Seri Nazaruddin Ibni Almaram Tuanku Jaffa, member of the Board of Trustees, Finance and Planning Committee. Ms. Suri Kemper, our guest speaker today. Puan Nurashikin Muhammad Sharif and your team from Bank Negara, Malaysia. Ms. Vinotini Janadanan and your team from Yayasan Saim Darby. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, staff and students. Salamat pagi, good morning, and welcome to the Upper Sixth graduation ceremony at College Tuanku Jaffa. It is a great pleasure to stand here this morning in front of our Upper Sixth students and their families, celebrating their remarkable achievements. Some of you have been members of our school community for more than a decade, while others have joined us more recently. Regardless of your individual journey, today we gather to acknowledge your significant contributions to the school and share in the joy of reaching this important milestone. As you prepare to venture beyond the confines of KTJ, a world of boundless opportunities awaits you. Before we proceed, I would like to take a moment to recognize and express gratitude for the unwavering support, guidance, and hard work of our teachers, staff, parents, and families. In particular, I extend my heartfelt thanks to Ms. Emma and her team for their tireless dedication and commitment to our students. Please join me in a round of applause to appreciate the incredible efforts of the sixth form team. So on occasions like this, it is customary to offer words of wisdom. Today, inspired by Bill Gates' recent graduation speech at the University of Northern Arizona, I've distilled 5 key pieces of advice. While the headlines are his, the details have been tailored to resonate with our own graduates. Firstly, life is not a one-act play. It is not necessary to accomplish everything everywhere all at once. Remember that you have time on your side, and great things often come to those who exercise patience. Each individual reaches their pinnacle at different points in their life journey, and there is nothing wrong with that. Drawing from your experience will always be an advantage. Secondly, never allow yourself to be too smart to be confused. Avoid the temptation of pretending to know something you don't. The path to success involves asking questions and maintaining the humility to learn from others. Young children ask thousands of questions every day, and it's no surprise that they learn so rapidly as a result. Thirdly, gravitate towards work that solves important problems. While this may present a greater challenge, it is essential to ensure that your life as a whole holds significance. Avoid settling for a job where you are merely counting down the hours until the weekend. Such a mentality will make you wish away a significant portion of your life. The ultimate goal is to find happiness, and this cannot be achieved if your work lacks purpose. Fourthly, never underestimate the power of friendship. You have formed wonderful bonds of friendship during your time at KTJ, and some of these connections will last a lifetime. Friends are there to help, support, and guide you, just as you should be there for them. Be a good friend and offer support to others. This is an integral part of leading a good life. Lastly, Remember, you are not a slacker if you cut yourself some slack. Bill Gates admitted that he wished he hadn't worked so relentlessly in the early days, pushing himself and others excessively. While your work should give you purpose, it is equally important to find purpose in other aspects of life, spending time with family, engaging in enriching experiences, and pursuing hobbies which ignite your passions. Don't be afraid to protect your own time and strive for a balanced life. So there you have it. Some valuable advice which is not entirely my own. Life is not a one-act play. You are never too smart to be confused. Gravitate towards work that solves important problems. Don't underestimate the power of friendship. And you are not a slacker if you cut yourself some slack. To this, I would add one more thought. Be kind to yourself and to those around you, your loved ones, your colleagues, and your community. We are all imperfect, and it is in embracing these imperfections that we find the true beauty in life. As you embark on your future endeavors, whatever they may be, I wish you the best of luck. We will miss you, but remember, no matter where life takes you, you will always be part of College Tuanku Jaffa. We sincerely thank you for your invaluable contributions to this special place. Congratulations, graduates. Terima kasih.
Thank you, Dr. Glenn. We kindly request that you now present the graduating certificates to our first group of students.
Adrian Tay Tian Wei. Aiden Iskandar Atlan Disney. Ainur Dayana Hani binti Asmi Sahran. Aisha Muhammad Busri. Elena Chong Yi Xuan. Alicia Mark Lee Xuan. Amrit Kaur Chahal. Anushri Suresh. Bong Xuan Xuan. Brian Lu Chi Wa. Brian Wong King Yaw. Carolyn Lee Sin Pei. Chai Yuan Zeng. Chan Jasin Aslan. Chelsea Elizabeth Lim Si Eun. Chia Jia Chen. Claire Ng May An, Colin Fu Fang Yue, Crystal Lau Ri Yen, Damson Lucas Oliver Siahan, Danish Shawal bin Muhammad Shukri, Dania Ahmad Ashraf, Thank you, Dr. Glenn. We kindly request that you take a seat as we watch the first of our house videos.
So I actually grew up in the Middle East and in Saudi Arabia, so camping was a big part of my childhood, you know, going to the desert every weekend. And when I came to KTJ, one of the things that stuck up to me was like how little light pollution there is. And that's why it made me think that camping here would be really cool because like you could look up, you could see the stars, and I think that would be really fun.
Yeah.
So dramatic.
Oh shit. I'm trying
Claire,
to fall
sing
asleep.
something.
No, I'm trying to fall
Claire.
asleep. No, you can't Olaf. You can't Olaf. He likes the attention. Stop. Yeah, go. Yeah.
Too dark to see, lah.
Amma, this is your make it happen.
You're supposed to make it happen.
Okay, marshmallows and the stick. Yeah. So just sit around.
What? I want kiss. Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, marshmallows. They kiss. Exactly. That's right. True, my place. You know, I would never put this in my house. Gross. It's not even on fire. There's no spark there. Oh wait, mine is on fire. It's good. That makes me too. Yeah, that looks not good.
Okay, I'm gonna remove one more.
You probably She had a delayed reaction. What color? Yellow.
Whoa, 20-minute vlog.
Yeah, it's 20 minutes. Every part is too fun to not record, I swear.
You've been vlogging for 20 minutes.
I have been vlogging for 20 minutes.
Hi guys, we're trying to open this so you can sleep with some ventilation. Hey guys, so we're about to sleep. It's very dark. We're regretting doing this because we have to wake up for 8 a.m. class, but it is all worth it. I think that's very nice. You know, you couldn't see it earlier, but the stars were really pretty, and it's great for bonding. We're gonna sleep now. So bye-bye. Good night. See you tomorrow morning. See you tomorrow morning. We're waking up for. Did you hear that? Did you? So I actually grew up in
We would now like to graciously request that Yang Amat Mulia Tunku Dato Seri Natsarudin, Ibni Almarhum Tunku Jafar, gives a short speech to mark this special occasion.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And good morning to all of you. First, I'd like to welcome all parents, teachers, Dr. Glenn Moody, the headmaster of KTJ, Ms. Emma Davidson, head of sixth form and her sixth form team, our friends from Bank Negara Malaysia, and Yayasan Saim Darby, and in particular, Suri Kempe, our guest speaker for today. Now, behind every successful student, there is a dedicated support team beavering away in the background, willing you to achieve your goals. Students, please give your parents, sponsors, and teachers a warm round of applause. Second, I want to send my warmest congratulations to you, the graduates of 2023. This day marks a significant milestone in your lives, a culmination of years of hard work, dedication, and perseverance. It is a testament to your unwavering commitment to education and the pursuit of excellence. I am incredibly proud of each and every one of you. Congratulations too to the sixth form team in particular for having weathered a very difficult period. The lockdown hit everybody badly, especially your generation of students. So I'm delighted to see how rapidly you have bounced back. Isn't it a pleasure to have things back to normal? In fact, the sixth form has not only survived, but it has thrived. We have a growing student body, indeed, more applicants than we can accommodate, and an increased number of scholarships, which the trustees hope will expand diversity and set new standards for academic achievement. And to provide the increased support, advice, and encouragement needed, I am pleased to note that next year we will have an even more dedicated and specialized teachers focusing on our extremely busy sixth formers. Speaking of which, and as proof of recovery, I note that among this year's cohort of upper sixth leavers, we have students heading to Oxford and Cambridge, Imperial, LSE, King's, UCL, Warwick, Durham, Bristol, and the list goes on. We have many medics heading to Ireland, Trinity College Dublin, Cork, and Galway. I was interested to learn that KTJ students are becoming increasingly global in their outlook, and some of you opting for universities in the USA, such as UPenn, Cornell, UCLA, Wisconsin-Madison, as well as South National University in South Korea, University of Toronto in Canada, Eindhoven in the Netherlands, with some opting to apply to Australia once results are out, and some choosing to continue with higher education at home in Malaysia. Truly an international cohort. After the COVID crisis, the next existential challenge facing your generation, or so I'm told, is the impact of artificial intelligence. and something called ChatGPT. It's going to change education. It's going to take over the world. Is it really? Education, after all, is so much more than just exams, formulas, skills, or even knowledge. It's about attitude and aptitude. It's about understanding and appreciation. It's about unlocking the potential of each student and equipping them, hopefully, with the qualities that no machine, no matter how advanced, could ever hope to replicate. KTJ's strategic plan for 2030 states this more formally. Learning is the lifelong, enduring transformation of information and experience into knowledge, understanding, skills, dispositions, behaviors, and attitudes that can be applied in new and different contexts. It is obvious to everyone, especially to the parents here today, you did, after all, choose to send your children to KTJ, that if we treat students like robots or teach them in a robotic manner, it is highly likely that their jobs will be taken over by robots. I hope that your experiences here, the good and the bad, have empowered you to develop the human qualities as well as the academic skills to navigate the coming storms, whether they be environmental, economic, or personal. Graduates of the class of 2023, I hope that when you think back of your time at KTJ, you do so fondly. As you get older, you will realize that the intangible, unquantifiable benefits of a well-rounded education will stay with you for life. Kindness, collaboration, and empathy are as important as competition and ambition. Even things which at the time might seem tedious or even annoying, being on time, looking someone in the eye, taking responsibility for your own actions, seeing things from other people's point of view, will be invaluable as you move through life. A sense of proportion and a sense of humor also help. And of course, to circle back to my original point, a robot has none of these qualities, at least not yet. Congratulations, class of 2023. Embrace the future, harness the power of AI, and make us and your parents proud. Thank you.
Thank you for those encouraging words, Tunku Dato Seri Nazaruddin. We invite you to please remain on stage and present some students with their graduation scrolls. Derek Liu Chi Hua. Dinesh Varan Sivalingam. Donathus Dean Deva. Dylan Ong Shu Kim. Elise To Wen Yi. Fathmath Anna Nizam. Gan Ru Yi. Han Cheng Jun. Hon Zi Tong. Hugo American. Humaira Bagum binti Abdul Haliku. Jade Xia Wen Yi. James Das. Jarrett Poi Kien On. Jonathan Lu Sien Long. Jude Ahmed Shiam. Juan Sebastian Beltran. Cassandra K. Lin. Kadira binti Muhammad Zayad. Kar Reza bin Muhammad Hazli. Kim Doyon. Kristika Kumarasan. Kuo Yu Chung. Kal Ashraf Yun. Thank you, Tunku Dato Seri Nazaruddin. It is fitting that our second house video is from the House of the Blue Sharks, Nazaruddin.
Okay, so my name is Muhammad Omar. I'm in Nazaruddin, and I joined KTJ last year as a lower six. So I've always wanted to be a commercial pilot, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. So I'm heading on to study economics at either the University of British Columbia or the University of Cape Town. They've done a lot from last May, June up until now, from when I started the process for Canada. Before applications even opened for Canada, Miss Susan was on my back. You know, she was telling me, she gave me the lists of universities that I should consider applying to, the documents that I need to prepare, essay guidance over the summer even, when she was on holiday. Even then, she was giving me essay guidance. So it's just been amazing. I've been able to get in touch almost instantly with my teachers, with my counselors, documents, everything has been handled by the sixth form team here. It's just been a breeze. Yes, definitely. Because I was so far away from home, and because I've never lived in Malaysia before, I don't have any family here. It was very different. It was a very different experience, but things like the house rugby matches that we had shortly after I arrived, and the house football tournaments, they really helped me develop that bond with my housemates and with the rest of my peers and fellow students in the school. So it was difficult at first, but KTJ's support and just in terms of the experiences they provide for the students really helped me overcome that initial anxiety and fear of being away from home. KTJ has a lot of ECAs, and one of my biggest regrets is not partaking in most of them. But the few that I did take part in, such as rugby, really helped me develop as a person. Back in Dubai, I didn't really play sports much. I used to play a little bit of football, but even that in school was very minimal. When I came here, you know, there was so much to do. We have 5-6 grounds for sports. Apart from that, there's also the cooking ECA. I also dabbled in that for a short while. It was amazing. You learn so much. And it really helps you develop as a person, you know, because there's all these strengths in you that you've never seen before, you've never really realized before, and it helps you realize all of them and even develop all of them to a greater extent. Yeah, and I'd just like to say thank you very much. As somebody who's never lived in Malaysia, who had only been to Malaysia once before this, you've left a lasting impression on me. You've made me feel like Malaysia is my second home, almost. And I'll always feel welcome here because of all of you. So thank you very much.
Before we welcome our guest speaker on stage, please allow me to introduce her. We are delighted to have KTJ alumna Ms. Suri Kempe here today. Suri Kempe is a feminist and activist and focuses her energies on issues related to social justice, gender, and inclusion through Kemban Collective, a feminist consulting practice that she co-founded. Her expertise in policy analysis, advocacy strategy, research, training, and evaluation stem from 20 years' experience working with the United Nations, government, and civil society in several regions, including South and Southeast Asia, the Horn of Africa, and the MENA region. Suri held the Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment portfolio at the United Nations Development Program in Malaysia, and also worked on parliamentary affairs as special officer to the Minister of Women, Family and Community Development in Malaysia. Suri currently holds several positions with Malaysian and regional civil society organizations, including as President of Family Frontiers, which is currently advocating for equal citizenship rights, as a board member of the Asia Pacific Research and Resource Center, AERO, and co-founder and advisor to Queer Lapis, the only queer content platform in Malaysia. Ms. Suri, please come up on stage to deliver your speech to the graduating class of 2023.
Hi, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. It's lovely to be here. And you guys, those videos really made me miss being part of KTJ. So, needless to say, it's really good to be back here. Thank you so much, Ms. Emma Davidson, who on behalf of KTJ invited me to bear witness to an occasion that holds so much joy, and also relief, I'm sure, for teachers, parents, but most of all, for all of you who are graduating today. Congratulations to the class of 2023. Now, if Principal Glenn took inspiration from Bill Gates, I took my inspiration from Michelle Yeoh's graduating speech to Harvard. But as soon as she started talking about the stunts that she did on her movie sets, I had to abandon the idea. And so here we are with a set of memories that I hold from KTJ that have helped me as I navigated an uncertain world and an uncertain future. As life goes, high school graduations play such an important role, and they're such an important milestone marker. They mark the end of one journey, the closing of one door, and the opening of another. Now, it's been a long time since I stepped through that door. When she introduced me with 20 years of experience, I was like, I clearly dated myself. But I have since then stepped through many others. But when I left KTJ and stepped through that door, I didn't leave empty-handed. And I took with me some insights, some tools, and packed them into my own personal Hermione bag that has helped me move through the world. So, what did I pack into my bag? And this is a story best told through memories. One of the things that I did with my friends, classmates, housemates, was pull together and stage 2 huge productions. One was Miss Saigon, and the other was a reinterpretation on the legend of Hang Jebat, our own Malaysian anti-hero story. And we did everything, all of us as a class. We did everything from fundraise for the plays, which is actually quite difficult to do when you're stuck in boarding school, but we did it. We wrote the script, we wrote the songs, we workshopped the sessions, we developed the artwork, we worked with teams of volunteers from across all the different forms to build the stage props. And it was spectacular and a whole lot of fun. Now, don't get me wrong, it also meant a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of coordination and team building, discipline, and trusting each other to have our backs for a solid 3 to 6 months. I had, before this, never done anything like that before in my life. And that's what made it scary, because we were going to perform this in front of the whole school. And so you can see why I wanted it to go well. What that did for me was that it made me believe in what Margaret Mead describes in her quote, that the power of a few committed people can change the world. I knew that then that if we wanted to do something, anything, we could find more people that would be committed to doing it with us and seeing it through. It made me feel like nothing was impossible. And that feeling of being empowered through community in particular, is the basis for the organizing work that I do today as an activist. I have been on the organizing committee of the annual Women's March and marched through streets, drawing attention to issues that affect women, young people, and other marginalized communities, including refugees, LGBT people, migrant workers. These issues are usually the ones that have not been addressed by policymakers or the government and have received inadequate attention, including issues of access to justice, including issues of labor rights and gender-based violence, among other things. Today, or over the last 2 years, together with 6 affected mothers, the NGO that I am with, Family Frontiers, filed a lawsuit against the government, pushing for Malaysian mothers to be able to confer citizenship to their children, regardless of who they marry and where they are born, where their children are born. With a strong team of young women and a growing group of affected mothers, we were able to raise this issue onto the national agenda and into the public eye. The result of these efforts now, past an election, past a lot of lobbying, is that the government has committed to change the discriminatory citizenship law that caused this. And together with other activists, I have lobbied for progressive changes to the law, including the Domestic Violence Act, to other laws, including the Domestic Violence Act, the Penal Code, and introduced other laws like the Sexual Harassment Act. Another big memory I have of my time in KTJ is about being challenged. I used to have Mr. Suresh as my English teacher. And while English was one of my favorite classes, there were many times I did not quite enjoy having Mr. Suresh as my teacher. And I remember writing what I thought, personally, were quite a few exquisite essays, only to receive a paltry grade on them. And of course, I'd, confront him, and we would get into these arguments. But his flippant response sometimes was just so basic and so easy. It was simply, "It's because I know you can do better." Of course, that didn't do anything to assuage my saltiness and my rage at the low grade at the moment. But I also recognized a challenge when I saw one. And so I channeled that rage and wrote and wrote and wrote some more until I got stronger and better. And then one day, many years down the line, I started writing speeches for ministers and thought leaders and for myself. So hone your skills, channel your rage. There is always room to be better. On another occasion, in part because I was also an argumentative teen, Mr. Suresh asked me if I wanted to join the debate club because he thought I'd be good at it. Ironically, because we had just come out of another argument or disagreement, I had haughtily snubbed my nose at it. Not because I didn't want to debate. I secretly thought I would be amazing at it, right? But because it was my own ego. It was because of my own ego. Now, of course, he never asked again, and I was too proud to go back and tell him that I wanted to be part of the debate club. But I learned, that particular incident made me learn that ego and pride are terrible reasons to stop me from A, doing what I actually really wanted to do, and B, having to eat humble pie. To this day, I think of that incident often when pride and ego threaten to overcome me, lest the opportunities that are there for my taking slip through my fingers. There are many opportunities out there that are just waiting for you to seize them and run with, that will open new pathways for you, help you discover parts of yourself that you didn't know existed, that will help you grow, especially as you embark on university life. Try not to get in your own way of growing and thriving. Now, the last memory I'd like to share with you today as well, I can't authentically share this without divulging that I did get into some trouble. Little stuff here and there, but also the big kind, the kind that got me suspended here. I could have easily been labeled a troublemaker, and maybe I was, a little. But in KTJ, I had the good fortune of being given the space and being afforded the grace of not having my reputation and my teenage curiosities and explorations held against me. I was still appointed a prefect. They tried reverse psychology on me. I still had the confidence of my teachers who supported me in doing what I wanted to do, who were patient with me in finding out what it was I needed, even when I didn't know what I needed myself. I had friendships that buoyed me. I had a community and a chosen family that supported me. And being a teenager, growing up, is hard. And you're allowed to make mistakes. In fact, you have to make mistakes in order to grow. But as everyone will tell you, the key thing is to learn from them. Now, I thrived on making mistakes, but there are two aspects to this story, too. One is the mistakes bit, and the other really is about making sure that you surround yourself with an enabling environment, with a community that supports you. And I think this really echoes what Dr. Glenn had to say earlier as well. Build a community that supports you. Build one around you, one that nourishes you and believes in you. As you cross the threshold from high school to college to university, you will have more freedom than you've ever known before. In this freedom lie opportunities and the potential for adventure, but also the potential for things to not go the way you want them to. And that's when you call on your tribe, on your community, because you know that they will have your back. And you know that you can pick yourself up, re-strategize, and keep moving forward. Now, I wish you all the best in this next chapter of your lives. May you step forward into your futures with anticipation and excitement, and along the way, find the best versions of yourself. Congratulations again, class of 2023.
Thank you, Ms. Suri Kempe. Your words are even more meaningful as an alumna of KTJ. We are now wondering which students from the 2023 graduating class will one day be invited back to deliver the graduating address to their juniors. We kindly request that you remain on stage to present the next group of students with their graduation scrolls.
Kyra Sarada Chalam. Lalif Kumar Anak Lelaki Saravanan. Lara Mohan. Lau Hui Xian. Lee Wei En. Lee Wei Hui. Lee Zhen Yuan. Liu Kun Weng. Lim An Chi. Lim Ching Yi. Lim Li An. Lim Yu Chen. Lim Yu Xuan. Lim Yuan Shi. Lim Zishen. Liao Miao Xuan. Louis Lim Hauser. Michelle Ismail Mahmoud. Muhammad bin Wan Shukor. Muhammad Hudzal bin Habib. Muhammad Mukris bin Iskandar Zulkarnain. Muhammad Umar Bura. Mutia Nadifa Asfar. Nagi Anezaki. Naomi Chan Hin Yan. Thank you, Ms. Suri Kemp.
The Yellow Bees of Natsimuddin will now share their house video.
At KTJ, we like to make it happen. So when Nuggy asked me if he could cook pizzas in the pizza oven at school, this is what happened.
When I first came to KTJ, which was a year ago, when I came to Nazimuddin, the first thing I noticed was the pizza oven. Before Nazi, I was really passionate about making all sorts of food, especially during the COVID period, and it was always just a thing I wanted to do.
Oh no, it looks like you're doing one each. Where the pizza battle begins. Mr. Hamish is going to judge the best pizza.
Oh.
So, everyone has now cooked their pizzas.
Yes.
Mr. Hamish has tried every pizza. He's rated them all. Mrs. Chesworth has just added up the scores and tabulated them. And we're ready to pass over to Mr. Hamish for the results.
So, after 12 magnificent pizzas, tied for second is Agnes and Amelina. The weird ones. Are you allowed to say that? And the winner, by a slight margin, is the professional Johnny.
Right, how did you enjoy the experience of cooking pizzas this evening?
Yeah, it's the first experience with a student.
Yeah.
So we know each other, small, collaborate, they have a new idea.
Yeah.
So we can
Anchoas, chocolate, pizza. The new
experience.
experience.
Good experience.
Terima kasih, thank you for your help.
We now have the first of our student speeches, and it's from our head prefect, Aiden Iskandar Atlan Disney. Please welcome him to the stage.
Good day to our distinguished guests, parents, teachers, and my peers. It has been an immense privilege to attend such a fine institution such as KTJ, with history etched in the classrooms, boarding houses, and corridors. I sincerely hope that my graduating class share a similar sentiment. It has been a privilege to be shown how to wield a paintbrush by Mr. Powsey, to run countless drills with Mr. Moss, to bake fluffy but ever so slightly burnt bread by Miss Angela, and even a privilege of sorts to be given an IELTS attention by Auntie Emma. So, no favoritism there. The notion of privilege has been on the forefront of my mind for a couple months now, as my departure date to the UK edges closer and closer. I grow ever more thankful of my family, teachers, and friends who have helped along the way. And so I'm weirdly thankful to Malaysia for being the multicultural melting pot it is, creating the global citizens we see before us today. In fact, just the thought of leaving Malaysia is making me homesick, having to leave behind nasi lemak, char kway teow, late-night mamak feasts. Oh, and family and friends too. In light of this, it's no wonder that a staggering 70% of international students in the UK feel a sense of homesickness. However, we only have the means to leave Malaysia and further our studies because of the immense privilege that we have. I'm sure that all of us here today who have enjoyed these privileges of the wonderful educational environment and these dedicated teachers recognize that we owe a service to others. It was John F. Kennedy who said it best. To those who much is given, much is expected. Because what separates privilege from entitlement is gratitude. For me personally, this is a very emotional moment because it is the end, for the time being at least, of the KTJ Disney dynasty. I've been coming here ever since I was 3 months old, when my big sister Yasmin joined Form 2 in 2005, followed by my brother Jeffrey in 2008, and my dad, Mr. Disney, in 2013. In the past 6 months, both my grandparents, who supported us throughout our time at KTJ, have sadly passed away. And my dad is going into semi-retirement. Of course, it's not really the end of it all, because I'm absolutely certain that Miss Emma will be calling us back during university holidays to impart our overseas experience to our juniors. We benefited from the wisdom of previous years, and I promise that we shall maintain the tradition. Having such great opportunities forces us to wonder whether we deserve what we have, and whether we will live up to the potential in which we have been prepared for. To be human is to be anxious, and ironically, sometimes the more privileged we are, the more opportunities we have, and the more we worry about what is to come. And so, on behalf of my fellow students, I want to say that we are grateful for what we have and what we have received. We know that we are where we are here today, not because of our innate talent or ability, but because we have been fortunate enough to have parents and teachers who have given us the opportunities and support us to realize our true potential. We love you all, and we send our heartfelt thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Aiden. Next up for the videos is the house of our head prefects. It's the Pink Panthers Imran House.
Currently upper 6 in KTJ, and I'm in the Imran House. I actually got the decision yesterday of the university called SNU. I've been aspiring to go to SNU since I was like 7 or 8. So I'm really excited and looking forward to study my major, which is College of Liberal Studies at SNU. I think it's how it works similarly to MIT. because for the first year, you don't really have a major, and you will just have to like look out for different courses, and you will have to decide it by the end of the first year. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I guess post-university, I would like to work in a consulting firm if possible. And if I'm given a chance, I would like to work in the top 3 consulting firm, like Boston, Bain, or McKinsey, if possible. In my case, I think it was quite different, I would say, because I only applied to the Korean universities only. And I think I'm the only one in the batch who's only applied to Korean universities. And throughout my application, there were Miss Susan, Miss Emma, and Miss Heather helping me out a lot during the procedure. And obviously all the other teachers who helped me out during the process. And especially with Miss Susan, you know, she helped me to write a recommendation letter for me. And I always kind of like sent a very long message through email to her, like listing out all the experiences I had, like every now and then, like every like 30 minutes. So it could have been actually annoying for her, but although it might have been annoying, she always listened to me and she always took that into consideration for the actual recommendation letter. So I'd like to thank her a lot for that. I can firmly tell you that Miss Susan, Miss Emma, and all the people here is really experienced, and they can literally give out the best help they can. And they're one of the best consultants for the application, in my opinion. Yeah, so I'll just like to thank them all for that. And because of them, I think my application process was a success. There are so many things I've learned actually, because I've been here for like 5 years, since Form 3. But I guess since Form 3, I really participated in a lot of ECAs, and through that, I think I learned to fail and how to kind of overcome that failure and to move on to the next step. Because, like, you know, throughout your life, you're gonna fail a lot, and I think I was fortunate enough to be given an opportunity to experience that in firsthand, you know, in KTJ, fail a lot. And at first, obviously, like, failure isn't too great. It's quite bittersweet. But I think after many years, I've learned how to kind of change my mindset of not thinking failure as a failure, but to think of failure as kind of a milestone for success in the future. So I think that's my biggest life goal that I've learned. One of the biggest is to really change your mindset and to think positively and how you deal with the situations that's like ahead of you. Okay. Thank you all for all my friends who've been with me in KTJ for 5 years. And thank you for making my KTJ life more than memorable, you know, compared to anybody else. And all the best for the future. Yeah, bye guys.
We would now like to invite Puan Nur Shikin Muhammad Sharif of Bank Negara Malaysia onto the stage to present the next group of students with their graduation scrolls.
Nashvin Nair Matavan. Nathan Sharon Rock. Eng Kai Xuan. Eng Sujin. Eng Wengzi. Ang Zhao Ang. Ngo Juntong. Ngo Junyu. Nia Katarina binti Abdul Razak. Nicholas Liu Zi Cheng. Nicholas Tan. Nigel Ong Wei Jun. Nur Irdina Zakira binti Muhammad Nur Al-Azhar. Nur Iza Irdina binti Safi. Nurul Alisha Muhammad Wazir binti Abdul Ghani. O Meng Ning. Ong Yuan Jin. Pavel Liam Tadani. Hua Chai Kit, Ethan. Putri Aisha Hanani. Rachel Yi Shin Fun. Raina Uzma Muhammad Rashid. Rakina Zara Stevens binti Afendi. Ray Wong Kai Feng. Rhea Janine Silva Ratnam. Rashika Suresh.
Thank you, Puan Nurashikin Muhammad Sharif. The next house video is from the Green Rams Nakuddin House.
Those hands and lights can't stop me. I just hold on for dear life. Yet I can't give up this feeling that I get when looking down from the sky. Now with you, now with you. hands and lights can't stop me. I'll just hold on for dear life. Yeah, I can't give up this feeling that I get when looking down from the sky. Give up this
Our second student speaker is our head prefect, Kyra Sarada Chelem.
A very good morning to Yang Amat Mulia Tunku Datuk Seri Nazarudin, Ibni Almarhum Tuanku Jafar, member of the Board of Trustees, Finance and Planning Committee, Ms. Suri Kempi, Puan Nora Shikin Muhammad Sharif and her team from Bank Negara, Malaysia, Ms. Vinothini Jananardhan and her team from Yayasan Saim Darby, Dr. Glenn Moody, Ms. Emma Davidson, teachers, parents, and friends. The 2023 Upper Sixth cohort sits here as a culmination of 13 years of school that started at a playground and is ending here today in the graduation hall. Through the years, we have learned, grown, and evolved not only from the successes we gained from the milestones we have achieved, but more often than not from the failures that bent us but did not keep us down. On the precipice of my final days in school, I reflect on all of my experiences, all of the joy, all of the tears, all of the hopes, and every disappointment, the collective sum best described as two sides of a coin. Every experience that has shaped us has a yin and yang story behind it. Whilst we are relieved to get through the toughest exams of our lives so far, the anxiety of the future beyond that final exam script is palpable. Whilst we rejoice in the bonds of friendship which were cultivated from being away from home, we mourn the separation as we are flung into all corners of the world. Whilst we feel liberated from the daily rigor of classrooms and uniforms, we will miss the comfort of a nurturing environment of our teachers, friends, and activities that made our day. Whilst we are excited to be stepping into young adulthood, and for many of us in a new country, we are scared deep down inside because of the safety nets of family and friends that will be beyond immediate reach. And whilst we are eagerly anticipating university and the whisperings of a career choice, we are apprehensive about whether we even made the right choice of the degree, the university, and even the city that we will go to. Two sides of a coin. That best describes how I feel whenever I'm asked, "You must be happy that you're finally leaving school." As newly minted graduates of KTJ, we are poised to make that leap beyond the school guardhouse today. And despite the trepidation of what the future holds, we know we will succeed because we have been molded and prepared for it. To our teachers, mentors, and counselors, thank you for your guidance and care. To our parents, we could have not achieved anything without your support, love, and encouragement. Thank you is simply insufficient to express the gratitude we feel, but thank you. We love you. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is to utter words, but to live by them. And live by them we will. Thank you.
Thank you, Kyra, for those reflective words. The next video is from the house of our head prefect. It's the Purple Dolphins of Jawahir.
Okay, hi, my name is Nia Katarina. I'm an upper 6 student in College Tunku Jaffa, and I'm a proud Jawahir girl. So after KTJ, I will be pursuing an undergrad in the University of Pennsylvania, reading economics and probably a minor in psychology. Other than that, I can't wait to do what I'm most passionate about, which is to continue doing volunteering work and also to just travel with friends and to live in the moment. I would consider myself very much lucky and blessed to have a very strong support system from the KTJ sixth form team, especially Miss Emma and Miss Susan, who spent hours and hours reviewing and editing my essays with me. So for both of my UK and US applications, and I would say that I also appreciate the personal approach to it because they encourage us to have one-on-one meetings occasionally. All in all, I would say they're very much experienced and professional, so I gave my 100% trust in them, paid my way, and I guess it worked. For me, being in a boarding school for almost 7 years now, 5 being in my old school and 2 being here, I would say the feeling of being away from home comes really natural to me. However, I really appreciate my time here because it gives me an equal amount of freedom and discipline in order for me to prioritize my priorities. The pastoral care here is really good as well. They really take the time to reassure and to make sure our mental health are kept in check all the time. And other than that, especially my friends, I just love being around them, you know, having those post-dinner walks together, watching the incredible sunset, cooking together in pantry, and just like singing and playing the ukulele together at home. So it really gives a very wholesome feeling, and everything just feels a lot easier when done together with my friends. Yeah, and I really appreciate the very welcoming community here. Just being a new student here, being in a new environment, new circle of friends, it could get a bit intimidating at first, but I took that as an opportunity to just make the most out of my time here. Being at SFC is really nice because it gives me a lot of opportunities in terms of event planning. So we had a lot of fun events throughout the years. For example, planning induction activities, for example, amazing race, pool parties, and even graduation. And not to forget, most importantly, we got to renovate this beautiful SFC building, so shout out to the renovation team, you know who you are. And lastly, I would just say I'm very much lucky to be able to work with a very supportive and very professional group of people in the SFC together, and I would say most of my close friends that I have at the moment were built from the SFC. If I were to give a piece of advice to future KTJ students, it would be to not draw a limit to yourself and try to step out of your comfort zone, because KTJ really provides an ample amount of opportunities and they actually listen to your thoughts and opinions, so you wouldn't want to miss out on that. Other than that, I used to think that it takes forever for me to graduate, but up to this point, I realized that everything just went by with the blink of an eye. So do cherish every moment, be it big or small, good and bad. Oh, I really hate saying goodbyes, but I just want to say thank you so much for being my home for the past 2 years. Do live your best life, be it in uni or in your gap year, and just live in the moment. And for my Jawa Hair girls, always remember that once a purple, always a purple. Yay!
Graduating students Claire Lim Ching Yi and Rachel Yi Shin Fun will now sing History by One Direction. Please give Claire and Rachel a warm welcome to the stage.
Losing my mind, keep getting the feeling you wanna leave this all behind. Thought we were going strong, I thought we were holding on, aren't we? No, they don't teach us this is school. Now my heart's breaking, but I don't know what to do. Thought we were holding on, aren't we? You and me got a whole lot of history. We could be the greatest team that the world has ever seen. You and me got a whole lot of history. So don't let it go, we can make some more. We could live forever. All of the rumors, all of the fights, we always find a way to make it out alive. We were going strong while we were holding on, aren't we? You and me got a whole lot of history. We could be the greatest team that the world has ever seen. You and me've got a whole lot of history. So don't let it go, we can make some more. We can live forever. Many cars, expensive cars, hotel rooms, new tattoos, and good champagne, and private planes. But they don't mean anything, 'cause the truth is out. I realize that without you here, life is just a lie. This is not the end, this is not the end. We can make it, you know what you know. You and me got a whole lot of history. We could be the greatest team that the world has ever seen. You and me've got a whole lot of history. So don't let it go, we can make some more. We can live forever. You and me got a whole lot of history. We could be the greatest team that the world has ever seen. You and me got a whole lot of history. So don't let it go, we can make some more. We can live forever. So let me go, so don't let me go. We could live forever. Baby, don't you know? Baby, Baby, don't you know we could live forever?
Thank you, Claire and Rachel, for that beautiful rendition of History by One Direction. We would like to ask Ms. Vinotini Janardanan of Yayasan Saim Darby to come on stage to present the final graduates with their certificates.
Roseanne Chalet Topping. Ryan Lim Zhiyan. Ryan Roy Joseph. Ryan Yash Melvin. Sabrina Ting Ziyu. Samuel Shribu Adrian. Sarah Chanakarn Tuan. Soumya Sivabalan. Serene He Wante. Charlati Karuna Anak Perempuan Karunagaran. So Jian En. Song Min Jun. Sonia Marie Alfred. Sui Te Shen. Tan Jun Lung. Tan Yu Ming. Tan Jung Yang. Tang Jun Ming. Thon Ethan. Tiana Rosie Liu. To Bok Zien. Vera Viyash Kumaresan. 1 Kalisha Zara binti 1 Muzaffar. 1 Nur Nafisa binti Junaidi. 1 Yi Wei. 1 Wong Jen Yi. 1 Xue Miao. 1 Ye Xin Yu. 1 Ye Wenxuan. 1 Yu Ian. 1 Yu Kwok Yen. 1 Zach Ryan Goh Zenshen. 1 Zamil Khan. 1
Thank you, Ms. Vinotini Janadanan. Our final video of the day comes from the House of the Red Phoenix, Alia.
Okay, hi, my name is Erdina Zakira. I'm an upper 6 student at College Tuanku Jaafar and I'm a proud Alia girl. After College Tuanku Jaafar, I'll be pursuing computer science in Cornell University and also hoping to juggle a data science and German minor. And also I would like to take the opportunity to travel the States, explore places with my friends and maybe work a few part-time jobs here and there. I truly appreciate how early on the university application process starts in KTJ, where we are put into groups according to our intended field of study and also the country that we are planning to apply to since the start of lower 6. So from personal experience, applying to both to the UK and the US, two very different applications, I couldn't have managed it without the help from the 6th form team, my teachers, and also Miss Susan and Miss Emma. So for me personally, applying through the early decision cycle, the one-on-one sessions with Miss Susan really helped me from being completely clueless about applying to the States and actually get it done before the early deadline. So all in all, trust me, KTJ structure works. If I have to choose one, I'll definitely choose the KTJ 2022 Oxbridge Engineering Workshop, where before this, I was always from a participant's perspective. So getting the chance to actually host the annual workshop alongside Miss Emma, Mr. Ian, and also an amazing team, you know who you are, definitely opened my
Don't worry, we will try solve the technical thing and then you can watch the video after my speech, hopefully. Tunku Dato Sri Nazaruddin, Ms. Suri Kempe, Puan Rashikin, Ms. Vinotini, our friends from Sime Darby, Bank Nagara, Dr. Glenn, parents, teachers and students. It's so lovely to see you all here today, and especially to see the students with their families
I can finally now put faces to some of the names on emails and meet in person people that I've met online over the last 2 years. We seem to have raced to the end of the academic year and your time in KTJ at breakneck speed. And the time to say goodbye has come upon us so quickly. As the cohort that emerged from semi-hibernated state of COVID, the graduating class of 2023 has had to learn how to go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in their lives at school. We are incredibly proud and very deliberate in curating a diverse and intense range of activities through our leadership roles, events, competitions, academic clubs, and co-curricular activities. Students practice getting involved in diverse areas. They practice making a difference in their community. They practice successfully juggling multiple commitments. They basically practice being very busy people, a skill essential for success later in life. This graduating batch of 2023 has done incredibly well at developing these skills without the benefit of an increase in responsibilities and activities that students usually gain through their IGCSE and SPM years. So I hope that you weren't too harsh on them. If they came home for exeats or holidays and the first thing they did was dump their bags by the front door and go up to their bedrooms and sleep for a couple of days, please forgive them. They had certainly earned some rest and downtime. If you ask staff members what is the best thing in KTJ, without fail, they will say the students. We are incredibly lucky with our students, and it is perhaps one of the reasons why so many teachers come to KTJ and stay for so long. But students, I wonder whether you appreciate how incredibly lucky you are too, especially coming from this part of the world. Why do I say this? Well, you have an invaluable advantage over your US and European counterparts, one that I think you won't really realize and appreciate until you leave university, free of debt and student loans. Your fellow students from the rest of the world will be starting life with millstones around their necks of the equivalent, in many cases, of about 300,000 ringgit of debt. Your parents and the sponsors in this room are giving you a great and precious start in adult life. Don't waste it. Scholars, come back and serve your sponsor with diligence, dedication, and pride. Can we please say a huge thank you to the parents and sponsors for the amazing opportunity that they have given you. I'd like to say a few thank yous of my own. Firstly, thank you to the Sixth Form Committee who have helped to put on this event today. And they also have the added challenge of the inaugural Form 5 graduation tomorrow as well. Thank you to the unseen angels of KTJ's big events, Miss Toria, Miss Panitha, and Miss Hema. We talk a lot about community in KTJ, and I think a perfect example of our Kampung KTJ is the event that we put on today, and it shows Kampung KTJ at its best, with grounds, tech, maintenance, catering, housekeeping, security, and admin teams all pulling together to make a big event possible. Thank you also to the old Sixth Form Committee, who were led so ably last year with efficiency, enthusiasm, grace, and warmth. Kai and Nia, you guys were amazing, and I really enjoyed all of our projects last year. A big round of applause is also due to Charmaine for designing, planning, and executing the renovation of our Sixth Form Centre Charmaine, you transformed it into a welcoming home for our sixth form, so thank you. Thank you, Kyra and Aidan, for your adaptability with all those changing COVID SOPs last year at all the induction events and the sixth form events that we had. I have to say, actually, that Kyra's January induction planning is still the gold standard of student planning for events. Jojo, Pavel, Juan Sebastian, thank you for launching us out of COVID. Well, also we had a bit of an outbreak, but thank you for launching us out of COVID with glitz and glamour with that amazing prom last year at the Four Seasons. Students, I hope you have a lot of happy memories of your time here. For me, the glorious sunset-bathed bubble picnics, the hilarious fun of the silent disco, the sunset parties and your macans on the sixth form centre patio, speaker events in the Watson room, and the jovial antics of the pool party, the thrill of those inter-house events, and the energy and buzz from your house chants. And not to forget the prom and the graduation dinner that we've had just this weekend. Thank you to all of you who have contributed through the Sixth Form Committee, the Promcom, the Prefect Board, and the House and ECA leadership for making these last 2 years a lively, inspiring, and enriching experience for everyone in our school. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Emma.
Oh, I haven't finished yet.
Sorry.
I'm turning the page. Sorry, you're not going to shut me up that quickly. Thank you to the parents and sponsors for entrusting the care of your children to us at this crucial time in their lives. I would especially like to thank the sixth form team of Miss Hemmer, Miss Susan, Mr. Philip, Mr. Ian, Miss Stephanie, Mr. Price, Mr. Yarlett, and absolutely not forgetting Mr. Disney. I know the hours and hours of care they willingly and consistently put in, which are way beyond what we could reasonably expect of anyone, to ensure that your child stands the best possible chance in this hyper-competitive higher education environment. One memory in particular stands out to me. As some of you may know, last year, Mr. Disney, Deputy Head of the Sixth Form and English Literature teacher, was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer in October. In the middle of a brutal course of simultaneous radiation and chemotherapy treatment, he still came to work. And he taught, and he helped students with their personal statements, and he wrote university references. It was only in the 3rd round of chemotherapy, when he was really getting quite poorly, that we finally persuaded him to stay at home and focus on his treatment. Students, you will be lucky indeed if one day you can find a job that you love as much as Mr. Disney has loved teaching you. I especially want to thank him as he steps back a little and has a more targeted role in our sixth form next year, and he enjoys doing a few things away from KTJ with, thankfully, his clean bill of health. Thank you, Mr. Disney. Thank you to Dr. Glenn and the Board of Trustees for enabling the sixth form team to grow as our student body grows. This has enabled us to add breadth, but also critically academic depth. Next year, we will have sixth form specialists in law, medicine, engineering, computer science, literature, humanities, and economics. As university applications become more competitive and students are required to up their game to obtain offers from top universities, we as a team also have to develop and extend what we do to support students. Let me assure you that the students sitting in this auditorium today have had the hardest application round ever. How competitive is it? Well, it's not like in my day when I got to Oxford on a 2E offer to read philosophy, politics, and economics. And it's not like your day, and it's not even like the day of your older children. The University of Oxford saw a 94% increase in non-EU applications between 2013 and 2023. They are not increasing the size of their student body, and they're not increasing the proportion of international students at undergraduate level. In the 3 years to 2023, even with COVID restrictions, there was a 12% increase in UCAS applications. 1 million applications are expected by 2026. And in the US, there was a staggering 45% increase in international applications to highly competitive, big brand universities. Every single offer that these students in this room have has been hard fought for and is justly deserved. You should be incredibly proud of them. Can we give them a big round of applause, please? Some students will be disappointed with their offers, or with their grades in August, or with their degree results, or future job offers. Students, I hope that you can learn to realize that disappointment in your plans is actually an opportunity to take an unexpected path. Mourn the loss of your original goal for a short while. It was something that was important to you. You wouldn't have worked hard for it if it wasn't. But then move on and embrace new opportunities that it has afforded you. Every single person fails, sometimes in ways that appear huge at the time. Every adult in this room has failed at something at some time. You should ask the people that you admire the most how they have failed, and failed big at different times. When you face disappointment, you need to pause, reflect, talk to people, let people help you, and then purposely move on down your new path. So as you prepare to finish your time in KTJ, here is my final advice to you. First, join KTJ's alumni organization so you can pay forward the help your seniors and school have given you. You know that Miss Toria or I will track you down anyway, so resistance is futile. Secondly, go to lots of parties and events, even if you don't know anyone there or you don't really want to go. You never know when you'll meet your new best friends, your hero, your future business partner, or maybe even your future spouse. And finally, look after each other. You will all have ups and downs, and your KTJ friendships can keep you afloat and guide you back onto firmer ground. Don't forget or lose the bonds that make you special and make you stronger as KTJ alumni. So finally, one last round of applause to say well done to the amazing class of 2023. Goodbye, stay safe, stay in touch, and good luck.
Thank you, Miss Emma. We'll now play the video of Alia.
Okay, hi, my name is Erdina Zakira. I'm an upper 6 student at College Tuanku Jaafar, and I'm a proud Alia girl. After college Tunku Jaafar, I'll be pursuing computer science in Cornell University and also hoping to juggle a data science and German minor. And also I would like to take the opportunity to travel the States, explore places with my friends and maybe work a few part-time jobs here and there. I truly appreciate how early on the university application process starts in KTJ, where we are put into groups according to our intended field of study and also the country that we are planning to apply to since the start of lower 6. So from personal experience, applying to both to the UK and the US, two very different applications, I couldn't have managed it without the help from the 6th form team, my teachers, and also Miss Susan and Miss Emma. So for me personally, applying through the early decision cycle, the one-on-one sessions with Miss Susan really helped me from being completely clueless about applying to the States and actually get it done before the early deadline. So all in all, trust me, KTJ structure works. If I have to choose one, I'll definitely choose the KTJ 2022 Oxbridge Engineering Workshop.
Students of 2023, they will present a token of our gratitude to Yang Amat Mulia Tunku Dato Seri Nazarudin, our esteemed guest speaker, Ms. Suri Kempe, as well as Puan Nurashikin Muhammad Sharif of Bank Negara and Ms. Vinothini Janardanan of Yayasan Saim Darby.
We would like to thank Yang Amat Mulia Tunku Dato Seri Nazarudin Ibni Almarhum Tunku Jaafar, member of the Board of Trustees Finance and Planning Committee, our esteemed guest, Ms. Suri Kemp, Puan Nur Ashikin Muhammad Sharif and her team from Bank Negara, Malaysia, Ms. Vinothini Janardanan and her team from Yayasan Saim Darby, KTJ Principal Dr. Glenn Moody, Head of Sixth Form Mrs. Emma Davidson. Thank you to all of the guests, and especially we give thanks to all of the parents for attending the ceremony. Finally, congratulations to KTJ's graduating class of 2023. Please be upstanding as our distinguished guests leave the auditorium. You may be seated.
All graduating students, their families and friends, and our teachers are invited to lunch in the marquees outside the dining hall. Please do not use the inside of the dining hall as that is reserved for the existing students. Before that, we would like to have a final group photo of all the graduating students. This photograph will be taken outside on the main field. After the students have left, parents are invited to go to the main field to take a picture of the graduating students. We kindly request that parents remain on the higher bank of grass so that the drone can take a photograph of just the students. After the group photo has been taken, families are invited to continue to use the photo booths throughout the lunch. Parents, our ushers will be on hand to direct you to the main field and then the marquees at the dining hall. Could all the graduating students please stand and then make their way to the field? Parents are now invited to go outside to take a photograph of the graduates. That brings the event to a close. Thank you for joining us to celebrate with our graduating class of 2023.